Alright, it's a new day. I'm not tired. Let's hope I can maybe, I don't know how far I can get. I'll at least get a start on the Super Emerald. This is weeks after recording that little video right there is Knuckles of Carnival Night. What is wrong with my throat? Is there something? Yes, there is invincibility. I kind of wanted to play Security Breach on the channel at some point. Also, alongside Security Breach, I also want to play Ruin. Now, those are just two games I feel like I'd have fun playing. And it'd be very entertaining to watch, maybe. Maybe not. I mean, once you've seen one YouTuber play Ruin, you've pretty much seen them all play Ruin. I mean, if I were to play Security Breach and Ruin on the channel, I'd most likely just be parodying other YouTubers the whole time. Why watch a parody when you could watch the original? Unless the parody is funny as hell. Shit. A while ago, I don't know how long ago at this point, but there was a YouTube channel that did out of context stuff, and I got him to make a video about me out of context. Of course, this was a while back, so it wasn't as good as it could have been if it was done nowadays. But I still think it was a fun watch. There were some clips that definitely aged. Not good, not poorly, they just aged. Some very out of context things. And some, you know, not really out of context, more so in context, if anything. It was a very good video, and it was nice to have, but sadly it got taken down. Why? I don't know. I think the creator just took it down because it wasn't that good. What is happening? Okay. Wait a minute. This is a different boss fight arena. Normally, this takes place in the same area where you fight Sonic's launch base, whatever this is called. Okay. Yeah, I've never seen this area before in my life. It's cool though, that I found something new. And that I could naturally assume nobody who watches my videos has ever seen this in Sonic 3 before. Unless this is an Origins original thing, which it very much could be. I've also never seen that wall texture for launch base before. I cannot speak. Fuck me. It's very interesting. I've never seen it. It's like a brick wall. I've never seen this level design either, so... Again, I don't know if I'm in a new area, if this is all new to Origins, plus specifically not, I don't know. I mean, this could be in the original level, you just never see it because, you know, you're playing as Sonic going through a much more fast-paced version of the level. Hold on, scratching my eye. Alright, so far nothing. Alright, a fire shield that I won't be able to get. Hey, a fire shield I can get. I'm so glad that Sonic Superstars got pushed up by a couple months. But at the same time, I'm kind of freaking out about that because now it's going to be 3 games within the span of like a week in November that I'm going to have to play on the channel. 3 games I'm all really excited for, mind you, and yeah, that's going to be just a little bit of a nightmare for me. I mean, you know, I'm going to be eating good, and my channel's going to be eating good. But to cook all that, oof. Shit. Just in general, it's a really good time to play video games. Got Spider-Man, Mario, and Sonic all in the same month. And then like the following month you got a remake of a Mario RPG, you know. Those are always a guaranteed good time. For the most part. Excuse me? Shit. Okay. Hopefully I hit a checkpoint. This is the beginning of the level. Fuck. Oh well. I now know a shortcut. I also know now how to lose range. Have definitely made all of this easier. Try not to get hit here. As soon as I say it, I immediately get hit. Okay, well, you hate to see it. You hate to see a jump that wasn't that hard be failed miserably. Oh, that wall just looks breakable to me and I don't know why. Yeah, fuck it, I'll get more rings. try and avoid that. I mean, it'd be nice if I could find one of these. I mean, you know, that could have been rings I could have gotten, but, you know, an extra life is always appreciated, even though there are no lives. Still, it is appreciated. In case I ever completely just fuck up a special stage. Oh! Did I skip the... Did I skip a boss fight? Or is this just the way Knuckles' version of Launch Base happens? Because I could have sworn you fight all the same bosses Sonic does. Apparently you just skipped to both Death Egg fights. Yeah. Shit. Well, I at least got a few hits in on him. But Knuckles' fuck jump really does not make this easy. You know, keep attacks like these going, huh? Yeah, keep doing this, will ya? Alright, you can drop down any moment now. There we go. Easy. Game's literally for babies. There we go. Alright. Time to pull up some level maps. Oh, that's a nuke! Sonic 3 level maps. We're gonna go to Sonic Central and we're gonna pause the game real quick. No, this is not where I want to go. It's Sonic Retro where I want to go. Okay. We're in Mushroom Hill. We'll do Act 1, because that's where we are. Okay. Let's see. I am here. First one is right in front of me. It's not that hard to miss. I don't even think you can miss this thing. So yeah, let's just pick one at random and go through it. Again, don't know why my throat isn't clearing today. It's been like this all morning. Is there a throat doctor? Because if there is, I might need to see one. Hopefully it's better than the last throat doctor I went to. Do not want to relive that experience. Oh well. At least I'm certified to lay down pipe now. Alright, so... Okay, so Knuckles' path does not connect up till Sonic's path until like halfway through the level. Give me a minute, game. I'm looking. Okay, I see where I can get my next big ring. I just have to stay true. Go straight. Remember, children, being gay is extremely gay. Can't wait for that to be put out into an out of context. What? Alright, there should be a lever in my future. Yes, there is. Okay. This is good. Alright, so now I want to come up here and continue to be straight. Because, like I said, remember, being gay is kind of gay. Knuckles... Well, Knuckles is gay. Wait a minute, can I use this to go? Yes, I can. Okay, there we go. Like I said, just don't be gay and get all the super enemies. I was rewatching Sonic Prime Season 2 the other day, and I finished the season again. And I got to thinking, what do we call Sonic's new super form in Prime? We got all the other super forms from throughout the series. Now, what do we call this one? Like Chaos? No, that wouldn't work. We can't call him Chaos Sonic because that would be confusing with Chaos Sonic. Also from the same season, just a few episodes before. Okay, so Prime, I guess we could call it Prime Sonic as one of the new super forms, but I guess that doesn't really work. We can't use Hypersonic, even though that would be cool. Paradox Sonic, no, that sounds stupid. Although I can imagine that being the official name. Okay, where am I? I am here. Continue forward and don't be gay, okay. Where am I? Where is this? Okay. I'm exactly where I want to be. Alright. This is number 3? Yeah, this is number 3. So, I've been thinking, where in the Sonic timeline does Sonic Prime make the most sense? Because as much as the show creators and Sega want to say the show's canon, it isn't. Shit, fuck, cock, balls. I mean, hey, $20 is $20. But getting back to my point, I think I've narrowed down where the show could take place in the timeline. Number 1, the absence of Metal Sonic. That tells me that Sonic Prime takes place after a Sonic game where Metal Sonic gets his ass beat. So, okay. So very clearly the show takes place after a game where Metal Sonic is defeated. Now, that could be Sonic 4, that could be quite a number of games. But, looking at the way that Shadow and Sonic act throughout the show, because Shadow throughout Sonic Prime isn't acting like how he acts in, say, Sonic Forces. He's acting more like how he does in Sonic 06. So that alone tells me it at least takes place after 06. So then, after Sonic 06, but before Sonic Forces, because in Sonic Forces he was really edgy and just a general piece of shit. So it takes place after Forces. No, it takes place before Forces, after 06. That gives us quite a large range of appearances to use. I need to check the map again. Give me 1 second. You'd think I'd have all this prepared ahead of time, but I do not. I just fucking wing it. Alright. I'm gonna have to be a little bit gay. I know. I'm sorry. It's just what needs to be done. But back to what I was saying. Shadow is not an edgy piece of shit. He acts like he does in 06, and Sonic is a complete fucking child. Now, I have some headcanons and theories on why that is. Why Shadow became an edgy bitch, and Sonic, you know, was a fucking 5-year-old from Sonic Colors up until Forces. Now, that headcanon, I'm gonna explain all that in a separate video, or I might get to it very soon after this. But, because Sonic was acting like a fucking child throughout Sonic Colors, and he made the exact same mistake, or at least a very similar one in Sonic Lost World, I think it is safe to assume that Prime takes place after Sonic Generations. Now hear me out, Think about this. In Sonic Colors Ultimate, we race Metal Sonic, and as we know from prior experience, when racing, Metal Sonic tends to be left in a sorry state of repair, to say the least. And, while watching the Rise of the Wisp promotional shorts for Colors Ultimate, we see Metal Sonic get fucked up. So, we now have a reasonable explanation for why Metal Sonic wouldn't show up. We have a timeline placement for Shadow's character. We have a timeline placement for Sonic's character. But why specifically after Generations, you may be asking? That is simply because, think about it. Every time Eggman deals with some mystical force he doesn't understand, what does he immediately do? He immediately tries another thing he doesn't understand and will probably backstab him. For example, he freed Chaos, he got backstabbed. He freed Shadow, he got backstabbed. He freed Dark Gaia, got backstabbed. There's a pattern here. When one mystical gem fails, go for another. When the Chaos Emeralds and the Master Emerald don't work out for you, try the fucking Time Stones. You get what you see what I'm laying down here? Eggman's a dumbass, so after trying mind control, to me, his next logical step after being stranded in space at the end of Generations, at the end of Colors, trying to fuck with time with a Time Eater in Generations, his next step would likely be multiversal domination with a mystical gem he does not understand in the slightest. It just makes sense, okay? And of course that leads to its own can of worms, with Colors Ultimate being the canon version of Colors. Because, you know, the Metal Sonic defeated all that, and why you could say, oh, well, what about Generations? That's not Metal Sonic. That's like a... It's like with Shadow and Silver. They technically aren't the same people, even though they kind of are. And even then, it's very obvious that's a classic version of Metal Sonic in Generations. So yes. To me, at least, that is the only way. I need to pull up a level map for Act 2. Act 2. But yeah, to me, that is the only way to make Sonic Prime make sense within the current Sonic continuity. And yada yada yada. Okay, so wait a minute. Can I get to the one up there? Okay, so if I continue forward from where I'm at now, I will go down, and as far as I can tell, there would be no way up. Well, yeah, let's try that. So after that, I need to go up, and I'll see what I can do about this. Jesus. So after this, I need to go up, and then if it'll let me, go up again. Okay, it'll let me. And now I need to keep going up. Just like this. Alright, there we go. Bickering. I guess I should maybe go into my weird headcanons for why Sonic and Shadow have like weird character depictions. So, to me, it always makes sense that the Sonic games take place over the course of years. And like from Sonic 1 up until the end of the classic games, we see Sonic more in like his young preteen to early teen years. And so then when you think about that, then from Adventure 1 all the way up until we get to like 2009 Sonic and the Black Knight, I feel like it's safe to say we see Sonic go through his entire teen years. In turn, I feel like, to make sense of Sonic's inconsistent characterization, I feel like in Sonic Colors, Sonic is a young adult. I feel like he's like 20-something. And because, I don't know, he may be having like a crisis. He might be having an identity crisis during the events of Colors to Forces. To me, that would make sense. You know, because, like, if you wasted your entire childhood and teen years... I need to find the next big ring again. If you waste your entire childhood and teen years fighting an egg-shaped man with robots, trying to collect magical gems, and you get high every other day off said magical gems... Okay, so if I continue forward... Yeah... I'll do that. Like I was saying, if you smoke weed every day, it's probably gonna fuck with your brain a little bit. And just assuming here, I would assume if you waste your entire childhood and teen years doing the shit Sonic did and you never really got to have anything normal, I would imagine that would make you kind of have like a small identity crisis at some point once you hit your adult years. Like, do you grow up and stop going out adventuring and fighting robots, or do you double down on it? You know, like, what do you do? So I can imagine he has this identity crisis in Colors. It continues through the generations. He's still having it in Lost World. And then, like, I can pinpoint the exact moment where I feel like Sonic then grows up and becomes the Sonic we see in Frontiers. I can almost pinpoint it in Forces. The moment that I pinpoint that Sonic finally grew up and came out of his identity crisis is the final cutscene before you fight the final boss. The exact moment where Eggman explains that he put the Phantom Ruby into a Death Egg robot. I pinpoint that moment as being the moment. That is Sonic's canon event. Just saying. And I fucked up. Alright. I probably should be paying more attention to the special stage instead of my weird canon head theories, but I'm gonna multitask and probably fuck up again. Second of all, Shadow. Here's something I don't think anyone's ever thought about. Think about it. Shadow was created on the Ark. And I feel like it's safe to assume Shadow being created, mentally, he's no older than like Cream or Charmin by the time Sonic Adventure 2 happens. And I feel like the reasoning in the early IDW issues and throughout like Sonic Forces and all that we see Shadow acting super edgy, I feel like that's more so him just kind of going through teenage years. I mean, think of it this way. From like a mental age of 6, you see your best friend die in front of you. You get shot out of space, trapped by the government that just killed your best friend, only to then be 50 years later reawakened, to then have your brain reprogrammed for revenge, to then almost die saving the world, to then reawaken having an identity crisis, not knowing if you're a robot or not knowing who you are because your memories are gone. I need to look at the level map again. And then on top of all of that, once you finally find out the truth that your dad's an alien and all that, and you have to kill your dad, which I imagine that would be kind of traumatizing even if he is a piece of shit. So I need to go back, up. So just go up. Oh. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Yeah, I can imagine that after all of that, and you know, fuck you! Get down here, you piece of fucking... Yeah, I can imagine after all of that, Shadow would be a bit mentally, emotionally not stable, and that could cause him to kind of go through a similar thing that Sonic did. Yeah, I feel like Force's Shadow is just having an identity crisis. Is this not it? No, wait, this is it, right here, okay. I don't know, to me, that's just my explanation for why not only Sonic and Shadow or Sonic was out of character there for a few years, and why Shadow still is and is kind of coming out of it now. You know, I just feel like that's a good explanation for it. Or at least a better explanation than, oh, they just wrote a movie that day, or oh, fuck you, I guess, you know. It's better than reasoning Sega has or will ever give to those out-of-character moments. Plus, I feel like it adds some depth to all of the characters. And and honestly, I don't feel like half of the quote-unquote out-of-character moments are actually out of character. Ever since I came up with this headcanon theory, I've been kind of applying the same logic to other characters. And I also don't feel like Tails was out of character in Sonic Forces anymore. I mean, think about it. Bro grew up looking at Sonic like his brother. To then just out of nowhere be standing on the sidelines, seeing a bro who you at that time think is dead. It's understandable Tails would kind of have a mental breakdown and just fucking lose it. I forget who said it, but whoever it was in Forces that said Tails has just lost it. I don't think they were referring to he's gone insane. I think they were referring to, nah, he's back to being a 5-year-old. And again, I don't really have problems with any, or at least after coming up with this headcanon and working it out, I no longer have problems with any of the out-of-character moments in Forces or Frontiers or any other Sonic game now, because I have an explanation that makes sense, or at least to me that makes sense and works, and, you know, I don't know if it makes sense to anyone else, or if anyone else is going to apply, like, the same logic or anything. But if you guys want to, debate it out in the comments, let me know what you think it is. Who knows, I might make a Dash video going over it again, and maybe even in more detail and depth. Maybe even with some other characters. I don't know yet, but that's my headcanon, that's my theory, and that's the end of this video.